So really great festival set, and like you're right, Adam. Festival sets certainly always have a different vibe to them, and like you can see in this set list, they're definitely pushing "I Am the Moon" a little bit. But my take from this show initially was it was a lot about Sue. Derek, ripped, but I feel like Sue was kind of the highlight of this gig. Um, I mean, the fact they came out with "Playing with My," first track off the album, right? Isn't it? Or no? Sorry, that's
Yeah,
not "Here, My Dear." Is the first, right?
it's the first track off
Off of "I Am the
this
Moon."
this of
Second one,
the
second album.
second one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It just felt like Sue had her telly out for most of the show. The crowd was really feeding. They were both feeding back and forth into their energy. I'm always like, I'm a low energy guy in general, if you can't tell through my voice. But like, if you see me at a TTB show, which Dave has seen me, like, I'm dancing and boogieing and jumping just because they get me going. I would say the highlight of the show for me was probably Circles. I really, really love the groove on that track, and like, they get into the end of it. I was just like, I was getting down so hard. It was, and that's New Orleans is a lot about funk, and I felt like that end of Circles is perfect for the crowd here. It was deep, but like Dave was saying earlier, like if you're up front, you don't really turn around and notice how many people are behind you. But there were a lot of people there watching TTB, which was inspiring to me because I hope this band keeps getting bigger and bigger and succeeds more and more. Um, I don't really know like what else to say about it. Let's talk, ask some questions. I feel like
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Well,
Clemens obviously
that's all
huge
good
in
stuff.
yeah, was huge in
Good
New
stuff.
Orleans. They laid Gilded Splinters down really hard.
yeah.
Mike always brings it on that, but Derek certainly brings a different style of slide for himself on that tune, which I really dig. And I also felt like Brandon was laying it down really hard for that show specifically. But I'll throw it to David, back to you, and see what.
Well,
Well,
I
I
was
was
just
curious. You
go
go on,
ahead, Adam.
David.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, did you feel it like in terms of it being a festival crowd, a different vibe than other TTB shows you've been to? Because like people were almost maybe surprised by how awesome the band is. Did you get that vibe at all? Like people don't know what they're getting themselves into if they're a little bit newer to the TTB experience. Did you sense that around you at all, or was it mostly just hardcore fans who knew all about the band and were not surprised how awesome they were?
So David thankfully saved me a spot up by the rail, and we were surrounded by passionate fans, which was really cool. Thank you again, David, by the way. Um, but yeah, you could certainly catch the vibe that not everyone knew who TTB was, but they were certainly getting into it. I think you had a lot of linger overs from Gary Clark, and they're just like, "We're here. We might as well, stick around and see what this band's about." Side note, kind of funny. I thought JJ would maybe get on stage, but I guess the chapters just closed because they played right before. But honestly, I don't. David might know better than I do because I get so in the zone at TTB gigs that I'm like locked in. Have a little
Well,
side conversation, but Dave might know better than I do.
yeah, no, I don't know better. I know what you know, man. It was a lot of fun. I will say this, Adam. We were first. First, I'm gonna clarify on Massey. We were on the rail for the cheap seats.
But
Okay, all right. We were on the rail for the cheap seats. There's the expensive section right in front of us there, where the people have paid thousands of dollars for these passes to Jazz Fest. I mean, people come from all over the world. I mean, this is not just U.S. I mean, these people. We were having Anna and I had lunch today in a little dive here in New Orleans, and the table next to us, they were all from London, and it was their third year coming to the festival. I mean, this place draws them from all over. So you could be getting people that have no clue who TTB is, but and some of these people, like I say, pay a lot of money for these big chief experiences and stuff. So there is a little area in front that you, but but we waited in the heat, and it was, I mean, it wasn't as hot as it could be in New Orleans, but it was pretty sunny and pretty warm, and we really had to get in there almost before Gary Clark Jr. played before them to be able to get anywhere near, as close as we wanted to get. Usually when we go to the fest, we sit back in our chairs and we could be, several hundred yards from the stage, but we wanted to be, Massie and I talked, and we wanted to try to get as close as we could, and we got pretty close. And it was, as Massie said, a lot of TTB folks right around where we were, because you had to really put in, probably 4 hours worth of standing there to,
Easily.
to secure that. So that was that. Couple of things just for people listening. They cut any day, and there was no made up mine or I want more. So, I have tears from that, but they only had an hour and 45 minutes to play. It looked like Derek and Sue were very optimistic on how much they could get in an hour and 45 minutes. But it was awesome to hear Show Me and Mark, Mark Rivers come up front for the last song. Was awesome.
And the crowd got really into it too. It was a great closer.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. I would say the highlight for me, I'm going to be kind of selfish, but I think it was thanks to Massie or whatever, standing next to him. I don't know, Susan saw him or I or both of us, and she kind of gave us a little nod, a little wave, and a smile that she could even see us back on the rail by the cheap spot. So that was really nice to get a little kind of hello from the stage, that she saw some familiar faces. So that was really cool.
She saw the mega fans. She noticed.
Right. I was gonna say, you guys are recognizable, pretty recognizable faces as well.
It's kind of hard to miss all this. But...
Massie with a big beard, and David with the big smile and personality and presence and reoccurrence at lots of TTB shows.
Yeah,
as
coming
well.
Up on 100.